Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and welcome to the panel. And the title of the panel is AI Advantage, Supercharging Productivity. We'll see if this is really the truth, because I wonder, I'm going to try to make you say that it's not advantage, but let's see what happens. With us on the stage, Piotr Marzec, Google, welcome. And then I'll ask Valéry, I'll ask you to, I'm not going to, dispronounce your name. So Valéry, please, L'Oréal, please, how do you pronounce your last name?
Gaucherand.
That's easy. Valéry Gaucherand, L'Oréal, welcome. Katarzyna Dorsey, Yosh.AI.
Hello.
And Chris Bailey.
Hello.
That was easy. Chris Bailey is easy. Welcome to the stage. Thank you so much, Valéry. I'm sorry I just think that mispronouncing the names is like the worst thing that can be done. So I can't go any worse. So let's go straight to the point, and let me ask the first question, and the first question is to you, Piotr. We think AI will boost productivity, but we're talking a lot about productivity, but we don't talk enough, I think, about quality of service. So are we sure that while super boosting productivity, we will super boost quality of whatever it is we're doing?
So when we started quite early helping Johns Hopkins University on research, they are conducting the clinical trials where they rely on brain scans. So the challenge was, it was taking quite long to get such a scan analyzed. And in those early days, we helped them to increase this productivity, and of course, it was coming at some cost. So the coefficiency factor was around 0.93. Of course, it's not the same quality as their best experts. But on the other hand side, they were absolutely amazed with this quality on one hand side. On the other, the research time, the analysis of one scan went down from 5 hours to 30 seconds. So this was the greatest result. Now, rolling back, moving a few years into the future, now the same models, optimized, helped with all their knowledge, are delivering absolutely the same quality. So that's one of the examples. But for me, quite close is a case of developers. There's never enough of developers. We have a huge R&D center in Poland and hiring a lot of developers. But when it comes to productivity, there's plenty of things they can do and shouldn't do, for example, or could not do, in terms of producing code versus the other activities. So, Gemini Code Assistant for developers, helps, for example, with some administrative stuff, like taking away all the documentation, for example, or designing tests. So they can focus more on building code, producing code. So that's efficiency. But on the other hand side, there's this quality element, because the AI can check the code and give them hints where the mistakes might be there. Exactly the same way as with me, while I'm writing an email on Gmail, and it's correcting my misspellings. So it's also helping quality. So I don't think that we moving too much into efficiency at the cost of quality. It shouldn't go at any such cost.
Okay, Valéry, question for you. I always thought that being a chief executive officer at any company is mainly about dealing with people, and it's about human skills. And I wonder if AI it's not human, obviously. So, do you think that from the point of view of someone who has to deal with people every single day, with emotions? With their emotions and with the decisions that they're making. Is the AI you see as a useful tool from a perspective of any board member, not only CEO, but any board member, or is it something that can't be used from the perspective of the person at the top of the company?
So first, I want to say that Bartek gave us the choice in the backstage to answer his questions or to answer on different things. So I actually love your question.
It's called freedom.
Exactly, freedom. So, but I want to answer your question because I find it great. So, I think, from my perspective, AI will affect us all, whether we are mid-level or high-level leaders. We just don't necessarily know exactly how. But I came across a couple of interesting surveys recently. So one of them was by Egon Zehnder, saying that, of course, 70% of the executives believe that AI will cause major change in their organization. But these people say, but much less for me. So first conclusion is AI, yes, but for my neighbor. Then, recently I read in Harvard Business Review, it was something around, can great leaders be replaced by AI? And there, 65% of managers have very high trust levels in AI, so quality, etc. So as regards, for example, as of course automatization of repetitive tasks, decision making, even strategy definition, and very interestingly, individual performance evaluation. So I'd better be evaluated by a good AI than by a bad boss. But if it's positive feedback, if it's more about more personal things, involving more emotions, or negative personal feedback, then AI absolutely not. You know, and the good old boss is back, or the bad old boss, whatever is preferred. So, me, what I believe is that AI will actually affect positively all high-level leaders, because on the one hand, there will be the AI funneling up their organization and bringing all the productivity streams, so enabling them to maybe take decisions quicker, or even to design strategies faster and better, maybe. But most importantly, what I think is that AI is not going to just supercharge productivity, but supercharge actually EI, emotional intelligence. So the human part of leadership, which at the end of the day is what is going to be left for leaders, the human part. So I believe that AI will force high-level leaders to actually lead with more humanity. So the awareness, the compassion, the vulnerability, all this. So more senior leaders are leading with humanity. By the way, it's only 29% of leaders that are considered as human leaders today, Gartner. Okay? So more leaders leading with humanity means more engaged people, more motivated teams, more talents attracted. So I think also companies who are going to foster real, true human leadership culture will win much more. So my take is that actually AI will supercharge EI, emotional intelligence. And by the way, I'm recruiting at L'Oréal, Polska, and Baltics if anyone is interested.
So let me ask you a very short follow-up question. Let's imagine you have a very tough decision to make, and all the AI analysis tells you to do A, but your intuition tells you to do B. What do you do?
I do B, and then I apologize if I made a mistake.
Thank you. Katarzyna, question for you. Do you think the AI, if we introduce too much AI, especially in companies, in decision-making process, in productivity process, will it make us lazy?
Well, I believe that it's always a personal choice, how we use technology. And at the
so
end,
we'll become lazy?
Yeah, I believe some of us definitely who would like to make it easy and take it easy, definitely yes. But I also believe that for a lot of people, it will give incredible opportunity to actually use our time in a more efficient way and more creative way. Because the tools that now are being offered and powered by artificial intelligence, mostly they're focusing on like removing all this repetitive task, boring task, that actually only what it does, it takes away our time and takes away our effort and energy. So if we have this extra time, no one has time today, yes? But if we have extra time by exactly removing this tasks, then we also can become more creative. And I believe that on one level, personal level, this is our choice, how we will use this technology, yes, but I think within the company, and especially knowing that most companies are very demanding in terms of productivity, I think that the companies will actually push people to be more creative, because within the same time, they will be capable of doing way more, and I actually believe AI will empower us to be more human and be more creative.
This is what basically journalists talk about. This is that AI will allow us to do stuff that AI cannot do.
Yes, I think that the
connecting to other people.
Yes, the best solution, and we've been doing AI for many years now. I really believe that it's not like AI. A lot of people are like threatened by AI, but at the end, I think that we should look at the world more as AI-assisted world. You know, so where AI can really help us. Of course, there will be some areas that are very threatening, and somehow as a human beings we're trying to address them, but overall I think it will be very positive impact on humanity and on us as humans, and we will become more creative and more productive.
Thank you so much. We need positive information and positive input on AI, I think. So thank you so much.
We all say the same.
Absolutely. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So Chris, it's now your time. It's you know, talk about apocalypse or something. Because
no, I don't have that.
Let me ask you this: we're throwing AI around. We introducing it left and right into this and into that.
Yeah.
Is there anything like dumb and smart introduction of AI into productivity process?
Oh, you know what example and story comes to mind for me for that is when the University of California at Irvine was first built. The school was built without any sidewalks. And so what the school did instead is they waited and they looked at where people walked around the buildings, the paths that they actually wore out in the grass. They have a name in urban planning called desire paths, and they paved over those instead. And so, in other words, the sidewalks at the university are mapped not on top of where the university thought people should go, but over where they actually went. And I think that's kind of the key with personal productivity and AI, is we need to give people the knowledge and the skills and the training to be able to use these tools in their own workflows, and then look at what they're doing with it and pave over those paths in a more kind of systemic way. And so that's kind of, the bottom up approach where, we should all be using this technology to rise up through the different layers of abstraction in our work. Because I think, I have this same optimistic viewpoint for AI, because I really do believe that AI will make our time higher leveraged. So, this is the thing with productivity. Why we need productivity advice is there's this dichotomy of usefulness when it comes to the different things on our plate. If we're choosing, here, like something obvious, if we're choosing between watching Netflix and writing an email, the email is more important. We make more use of our time writing the email if we're in a work context, of course. And so by doing that, it's higher leverage. We get more from our time. And over time, as AI eats up the drudgery that we were chatting about, the low-skilled labor, we can rise up through the layers of abstraction in our work. It reminds me of kind of programming, how it started with, programming isn't my area, but we started with machine code, coding actual ones and zeros that computers could understand. Then programming languages came along, which coded the machine code for you, so you rose up. Your time became higher leveraged. Then APIs came along. We could write one line of code to turn on our phone's flashlight. And now, the other day, I wanted an Apple script to be coded through ChatGPT, so I asked it to code it for me to automatically eject a hard drive within 60 minutes of me plugging it in. And it did. And so that's another layer of abstraction still above that of a programming language or an API, where we're telling this agent what it should do. But I think the training part is essential, viewing AI not as the be-all and end-all with everything, but maybe an intern that we all employ on our behalf to do work for us.
And I think that, first of all, the productivity will increase, creativity will increase, but I think that us as a human being, it will be also more satisfactory for us because we will be really doing more what we like, and also we will be using our capabilities with our brain, yes? So we'll have very quick access to information, and now it's on us, like how to write questions, how to really create something new and something special. So I am obviously a big believer of AI and how we can advance as human beings.
So is there any red line you see that AI shouldn't be crossing? In terms of productivity, is there something that AI shouldn't be doing, even if it can do? Piotr? I think Google answer to it might be very interesting to all of us.
For us, it's absolutely important to adapt AI in a safe way. And I saw, and we all probably heard in media about the cases when someone was like rushing and without the proper testing, without the proper approach, was doing something wrong. And usually it was hitting the news, like someone negotiated with AI to buy a car for $1. That's great. And then the company had to pay for that as a cost. So, in many ways, what I advise, like, first of all, small steps, and in many companies, it really unlocks the potential to start with like really small things, like internal documents, internal processes that get faster, get more efficient. And then, while learning, okay, these are the good things, but also there are some disadvantages, traps on the way, and then we learn step by step. Instead of like jumping, into the deep water and like really seeing a chat version that can sell cars for $1.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just one example, since like we develop assistants among all the others. I believe that there is a situation that we as human beings, for example, going to the doctor and unfortunately there's some bad news, we hear it from a human being, not from a machine. And I thought, okay, this is the line. But recently there was a research that unfortunately even AI assistant was able to deliver the bad news in a more empathetic way than the doctors were, because they were rushed, they were tired, they were just at whatever the usual 10 minutes for the appointment. So, I don't think that we know yet where is this line, and I think it's all the discovery and also our mindset, how open we are, and to actually develop these tools and also use these tools in our lives.
Valéry, last word is yours.
The big tech and the regulators will set the red lines, maybe, but we can also all set some red lines for our own businesses, right? So for example, at L'Oréal, we decided to use AI, generative AI for content, except for the generation of men and women in advertising. We don't want fake men and women with fake skin and hair in the advertising, for example. So we said we don't do that. We will AI generate all the rest, the product, what is around it, but men and women, people in the advertising need to be real. Okay, that's the own red line we set, because we said we sell beauty product to real people. We don't want to sell it with not real people. Right? So it's a red line, for example, that we set as a group internally. Then I guess we all can set our own red lines also, whether to use or not some functionalities or not, right?
Guys, thank you so much. We have to end it, unfortunately. because the next panel is coming, and the guys on it don't like to be late. I'm one of them, so I know. Thank you. I just want to say that this was the most optimistic panel discussion on AI I ever heard. And I'm so glad, and I thank you so much, and please, let's thank together.
Thank you.